Welcome to Smart Meetings, a one-day experience here at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. And we just heard a life-changing presentation from Sandra Shelton from Strength Bank. And she talked to us about the power of communication, how to do it right, how not to do it wrong. You talked about how relationships and communication are the same thing. What does that mean?
Well, I think sometimes we separate them into parts and say they're different things, when in actuality, you're forming a relationship every time you talk to somebody, even if it's a nanosecond relationship. And once you understand that, you begin to improve the process because you start looking at other people for a response, i.e. a relationship. You communicate. A conversation may be short or long. There's no time limit. It's just your ability, your heart, to really want to see that other person, as opposed to, well, I said what I needed to say and I moved on. No, you said what you needed to say and you waited to see their response. A relationship is always formed, because if you don't wait for that response, you've just said, I'm a poor communicator.
Right. None of us want to be that,
No.
right? No. The other thing that you said is that it's all about storytelling, music to our ears. How do we tell good stories, and how do we ask people so that they tell us their story?
Be interested and ask questions, good questions. There's a whole thing we could do on questions, but basically you're asking them questions to their heart that, you know, for example, my boss said to me, what would you really like to do? Because I can see you don't like this. Well, what a question, you know? And I just said, well, actually, and I told him the truth, and eventually I got to do it. It is really, everybody has a story. Your story is who you are. And if nobody ever wants to hear it, then there aren't very many relationships formed. So whatever you can do to get somebody else's story, trust me, they will want yours as well.
Reciprocal, we love that. So tell us one thing that we are doing wrong about communication and how we can fix that.
We're assuming that because we said it, they'll do it. Or because we said it, it won't be misunderstood. You don't wait for a response. If you wait for a response, you could get rid of all those misunderstandings and all those, well, she said do this, and so they manipulatively, passive-aggressively do it, which isn't the right thing to do. Conversations, form a relationship. Don't just say words, and assume they hit right, because everybody has a different perception of how you said what you said.
Great advice. Thank you for being with us here today. Thank you for being with us here today. We will be back with more updates throughout the day.